Hey guys, welcome back to Forest Firearms. I'm Thomas. And I'm Ivan. And today we've got kind of an odd thing that we're doing. We're using two of the same gun.
Yeah.
This is the Enfield No2 Revolver. You guys have seen this one on the channel before. It was once mine, and before that it was Ivan's. Before that it belonged to the Warfront. Both of these actually originated from our friends at the Warfront. And, you know, he sold it to me, I sold it to a friend, he sold it back to me, so it has returned. Triumphant.
And it's a great pistol, guys. That's the one I used in the desert, and it's a
Yeah, I missed this gun. I kind of resented getting rid of it. But then you went and got yourself one as well.
Yeah, after we went to the desert, I was shooting this one, and I loved it so much, I said, I gotta have one. So, I picked up this guy, and you guys haven't seen it before, but it is a lot more war-torn. It's maybe hard to tell because it's been kind of hailing and partially raining and snowing up here. But the finish on it is way worse. It's way more worn. It's got some more markings, but...
And that's something that we ought to look at here is, speaking of the markings, so earlier in the war, you can see on this one here, it actually says Enfield 2 Mark 1, and then a date, 1940 on this one. Now this gun has no date, it just has this bizarre little symbol here. Now this is something that, by my reading, they didn't start doing until late 1941. There's a review on this gun, a full review that we did way back in the day. Any of our old-time subscribers may recall, but this was the first review that I think I actually ever did.
Yeah.
So things have changed since then. But yeah, this is, to the best of my knowledge from the serial number on this, it appears to be a 1944 dated gun. So this is late war. Ivan also mentioned the finish, and if you look side by side here, this is what the original finish would look like. This is what appears to be an Arsenal refinish. So yeah, there's differences there, but otherwise more or less the same gun.
And that's kind of why I wanted this one, guys, because there was a nicer one in there that was, it didn't even look like it was refinished. It just looked like it was never issued, and I kind of wanted one that looked like it had been there and done that. So that's the reason why I picked up this one. And also, if you guys know what that blue means, let me know. I haven't been able to figure it out.
And also, looking kind of that side of the gun, the grips on these is another difference that you ought to look at here. So mine are walnut.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how common that was. It seems like it was a lesser used substance for the grips on these from just my research.
Yeah, and these are like a Bakelite or plastic. This one actually has a crack. It looks like it was broken at one point, and somebody glued it back on. And also, the hump on this side has been ground off. I've heard of that being a pretty common thing that the guys would do to make it easier to access the release, but that's just what I read. And also, mine has a serration on the back where his does not.
Yeah, the back of mine is completely smooth, and as you can see here, that I would assume would help with grip.
Yeah, I like how it feels better.
And we're gonna have to take a look at that. We're both gonna take a few shots through each other's guns here. I think maybe we ought to just both load up a full 6 here real quick, and then maybe each fire 3 through each gun.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And as we usually do with older guns, we like to use PPU ammunition as much as possible. They make a lot of really good ammunition. We ain't got a very good setup out here today, just kind of sitting on a blanket. It's been kind of mix of hail and snow the whole time we've been up here. It's a little hectic.
Yeah, guys, it was pretty hard to get down to where we normally go, so we kind of had to stop and shoot where we could. As you can see, as Thomas did, you can load them singularly, and you can also have Smith & Wesson K-frame Model 10 loaders. If you wanted to be speedy with these things, you can push it on there, spin it, give it a little shake, they're in there, it's ready to go. Okay, so 3 and 3, and then why don't you go first?
Alrighty. And that is one thing with these. Again, in the review video, a lot of this stuff we go over in a little more detail, but these are double action only. As you pull the trigger, you're actually physically pulling the hammer back with your trigger pull, and then it falls when you complete the pull. So it is a very heavy trigger pull, but I found the sights on these are really easy to acquire. Yeah. For a revolver, these shoot really nice. So let's go ahead and swap here.
Shoot through
Take a couple shots through Ivan's here. Now, one thing that I kind of noticed, the grips on yours feel a lot fatter.
Yes.
In the hand. I don't know that I like that as much. Now, the serrations on the back is nice. Trigger pull is the same, so far as I can tell.
Well, I'll put three through it and let's see. Also, guys, something I've noticed on the ejection, yours is a lot smoother to open. It's a lot smoother, where mine's pretty tight to get open.
And that might be attributed to the refinishing of the gun, where yours still has the original finish, which is kind of a caked on, almost a paint.
Yeah.
Whereas this one appears to have been blued. And again, this doesn't seem like it was someone's backyard re-blue, though.
No,
like this,
no. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't ring of a, someone's project really. Okay, so let's try three with them. Yeah, guys. This one feels like the triggers I think are pretty much the same. They're not bad, but they are heavy.
Yeah,
but,
it is something that would take some getting used to, but it seems easy enough to use. Like it's not something that is a major hindrance. I get why they kind of did away with making the gun function as a double and a single like an older Webley. It just made it a more expedient process to make the gun.
Yeah.
And at the range these are intended to be used.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, and just like you're saying, I'm just gonna throw three in here real quick, and I've never tried this, but let's just go for it. That let me get this thing set up. If you look at the old training manuals, part of the reason why that they went away with the single action capability like the old Webleys had is they took a lot of tests and they took a lot of information from World War I. They found hardly anyone was cocking them, and also these were intended. If you look at the actual readings, I've never tried this, so I'll probably miss. But you see the pictures. They kind of have you have a squat, put it forward. Well, 2 out of 3, guys. But they recommended. They didn't really have you aiming them as much in the training. If you watch guys training, yeah, you might see them with like that. But almost all the training pictures I've seen, it was kind of one of those.
And I've seen some where they kind of, like, especially with the Americans, where you kind of intended to keep one arm kind of out to the side to kind of guide, like you kind of followed where you had your hand pointing, because you were intended to shoot these more or less point blank range.
Yeah, no,
so,
yeah. But the thing is, a pistol, since the beginning of time, is only a weapon to get to a rifle.
Essentially.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much covers it.
More or less. And like I say, both of these originated at the Warfront. There will once again be a link in the description for their website, and you guys can check them out. Also, if you guys like what we're doing here and want to support us, check out our Patreon. Consider subscribing to us. Once again, thank you, Patrick. You are still our only Patreon.
Yes. So, some of you guys might not know this, but this is my favorite World War II firearm. I mean, handgun. So today's a good day, but I've been Ivan.
And this has been Thomas.
And we'll catch you next time.